So we're going through the views folder. The views folder consists of the admin page, the cashier page, doctor page, login page, nurse page, patient page, receptionist page, .java files. Going through the first, which is the admin page .java file. The admin page class extends the JFrame. The JFrame here is just like the main window where components such as labels, buttons, text fields are added to create the GUI. The containers are set to private, so it's not accessible for everyone. So the admin page constructor is created, which is having two methods: the init component methods and the create event methods. The init component method is responsible for setting the default sizes, the border, bounds, and other components of the container, while the create events method is responsible for creating events whenever the login button, add user button, or any other button is pressed or clicked. As you can see, the create event methods here. So the second page or the second file is the cashier page file. Cashier page.java file. The cashier page also extends the JFrame class. It's also been set the containers to private. The cashier page constructor is created with two methods: the init components and the create event methods. The init component here also sets the content, page size, and layout, while the create event method creates a new patient. While the create event component, create event method creates a new patient record and also checks the patient account balance. If the patient username is found, it also throws an exception of a patient record not found, and with a red background if the particular user is not found. The next page is the doctor page. The doctor page.java file. The doctor page also extends the JFrame. Its containers, it's also set private. A constructor of the doctor page is also created. It also harbors the init component and the create event methods. The init component method deals with the general layout of the different components, while the create event method creates and handles different events that occur as a result of clicking various buttons. The next page is the main view page. The main view is set to try to set the visibility of the login page to true and prints out an exception of the print start if an error occurs while trying to log in. The nurse page, the Java file. The nurse page class also handles all what happens at the nurse page frame, with its init component methods handling the layouts, and the create event method triggers the book room button and other buttons on the nurse page. The next page is the patient page, which also has a patient page, which is the patient page class, and it extends also the JFrame with setting the containers of its containers private. The constructor is a patient page is made, and it also have two methods: the init component and the create event method. uh, the init component for setting up the container frames, and creating the handling and creating and handling the works of the page is done by the create event. Next page is the receptionist page. The receptionist page also extends the JFrame. It's also a constructor of it is also created, which consists of two components with two methods: the init component and the create event methods. The init component is used to set the border, the layout, bounds, and other properties of the container, while the create event method handles events with respect to patients on the system, such as adding appointments and dates and what have you. Just like the other files, the login page class handles all that happens on the login page. The init component method set the default layout of the various components, container components in the page, while the create event method handles what happens when the login button is clicked. It verifies the details of the user and acts accordingly to the role of the users, be it doctor, receptionist, nurse, or admin. And finally, the inventory page .java file. Just like the previous pages, also the inventory page class extends the JFrame with a constructor of inventory. The constructor created having two methods: the init component method and the create events method. The init component sets layouts of the various container components, while on the other hand, the create event method checks and handles events happening on the inventory page and they act accordingly.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shahruman Al Mahmood, my tick number 827476. So now I am going to present the second part of our project source code. So first of all, here employee.java. So this is there is a package called common, and employee is one of the Java class inside that package. So where we can see like string name, private and private string name, private username, and private salary. And here we use getter and setter method for get name and set the name. Here we use getter and setter method for get username and set username, and lastly we use here getter and setter method for get the salary and set the salary. So the next class is inventory. So we have a hash table here. So inside that hash table it can be possible to add inventory record, and the record will be string type will be item, and integer will be quantity. So if else condition here, and there is a another section here, delete inventory record, and also string item is string and quantity is integer. So if else condition here also again, and this is for view inventory record, and this one is for toString, and this one is for toString also. Actually toString is an inbuilt method in Java that return the value given to its string format. So any objective that method is applied on, so will be returned on that string object. So we will get that we will get all the result here in this section. So next one is login. So this is the login section. We have a hash table here, and like list all the user in the system. This one is list all the user in the system and mapping their rule, and mapping the rule like doctor, admin, patient, like that. So this is for list of the doctor, this is for list of the patient, this is for the list of the receptionist, this is for cashier, this is for nurse, and this is for get a login data. This one is this one for get login data, this one for get user data, this one for get doctor, this one for get patients, this one for get receptionist, this one for get cashier, this is get nurse, and oh, this one get role, this one for get role. So this is the login section here. So here we can see this is the format, and also this is the default data entry verification, this one. And lastly, like this one is for add new user, this one is for add new user, and this one is for delete the user from the system. And lastly, we have here is to verify its user exists and its validity password if user exists. Like if multiple like if one user have one account, so he cannot log in into the another time. So next is nurse. So here we can see we package inside that package common. Then next is public class nurse extended employee. So nurse is the extended class of employee. So there we call the nurse here section. So next is patient. So here we declare the string name, string username, and double account balance. Then next one is we use setter and getter for set name, get name, for get username, set username, for get account balance and set account balance. And so we have put array list here. So this one is for add record for patient record, and this one is like view all the record of the patient. This section we will see view all the record of the patient. And so next is patient dot record. So we can see here constructor like local timestamp, diagnosis, then doctor name, patient name, like that. So later we use getter and setter method here for set diagnosis and get diagnosis, then getter and setter method for prescription, this one for getter and setter method for doctor name, and this one we again use toString to view that as well. Next one is Java receptionist.java file. So this is another extension file of employee. So next is room. So here we can see public void book room. So this is string type room name. So if else condition here we have put it. Then public void make room available, string type, if else condition again, and lastly boolean room status. So it will display the room status. So next class is cashier.java. This one we can see inheritance, hierarchy inheritance we used again. And next one is doctor. It's public class doctor. We use in hierarchy inheritance again. And this one is for method like for doctor to enter diagnosis and prescription for the patient and and this one is for like store the prescription info. This one is for time and record, and this one is for new instant of the patient record, and lastly add for new instant for the patient record history. Now we are going to display the output of the system. So first of all here we need to run this main view file. So it will ask for the username and password for the receptionist. So this is the username, receptionist 123, receipt 123, and password is password. Just log in into the receptionist account, add patient, enter the name, username of a patient. So this is the one random name I took, and this is the name of the person, and this is the password, and add. So this one add successfully. So after that we need to log out from the system. So next is doctor. For doctor, just need to press doctor 123, password is password, then login, then view patient, view click, search the patient username. So no history here, so we can go here in treatment patient, we search the username again, we'll see the diagnosis and prescription here. So doctor will write the diagnosis, like what he want to do, like he want to diagnosis the fever, and he want to write the prescribe, he want to give the antibiotics, and just update. Later he just add the money or the fee charge, just add the charge, and view patient. Now we search, you will see all the information of that patient, and that's all. Thank you.